Skyscrapers are not merely sign of modernism, but often considered as symbols of capitalism. India, with its traditional learning towards socialism or left-of-center bias, never encouraged vertical growth, fearing political fallouts where large majority of voters consisted of poor people. Thus, government's policies always encouraged horizontal dispersion than vertical progression. And as a result, the concept of skyscrapers has always provoked some extreme reactions in the country in the past. India is not known for its skyscrapers, but for its heritage buildings. On the world map of skyscrapers, India is almost non-existent. For example, there are hardly 10 buildings in India with a height of more than 200 meters. Of these, 3 were completed in 2017. Further, there were no completion of skyscraper last year. According to well-known architect, Hafiz contractor, we need to grow vertical to overcome the problem of land scarcity in major cities. Land should not become a constraint for our future growth. If we keep growing vertically, by doing this, we also can keep a tab on surging land prices. Charles Corey, on the other hand, who had chaired the National Commission of Urbanization in 1988, had suggested low rises as the path for Indian urbanization. A phase contractor is one of the opinion that low rise will result in usurping valuable agricultural land, which may affect our food security in the long run. However, those who oppose his views are the opinion that by improving the technology employed in agriculture, we can more than offset the crop loss due to diversion of land for construction. Also, they cite increasing popularity of root farming, which can be employed to grow more food and increase greenery. India had witnessed many financial crises in the past without making any attempt to touch the sky through high rises. Indeed, cities are not well planned, thus making them unsuitable for skyscrapers. Providing basic necessities like water, waste management, electricity to these tall buildings also a problem due to archaic technology. Further, advanced construction technology poses required equipment to build skyscrapers. Also, foreign construction companies recently were not welcomed to build on soil. It's also recently that real estate sector was opened up for foreign investment, which may help to bring in more investment into the sector along with better technology in future. Perhaps one of the strongest reasons for India not having a meaningful number of skyscrapers is the insufficient and unreliable power supply in the country. Though slogan "Power for All" is more than 2 decades old, it is inching towards the reality only now. That may also be the reason why most of the skyscrapers which India have are mostly located in the island city of Mumbai, which has better electricity than elsewhere in the country. While low-rise consumers and consumes more land, high-rise consumes more energy. With the improving power supply situation in the country, there will be having one less region for not having enough skyscrapers. The biggest culprit for not having many high-rises is building codes in India. Floor area ratio in various cities ranges from 2 to 4, which means that developers have to pay high prices to reach the sky, which eventually make the project unviable. Compare this with FAR in Manhattan, which is more than 20, so building code needs to be changed to encourage to build high-rise, which is politically a sensitive issue and also can attract the wrath of the environmentalist and overactive activist. Cities like Gurugram and Bangalore are changing their FAR rules, but not to the extent to call them drastic changes. But the direction is positive from the point of view of proponents of skyscrapers. Times are changing and so does priorities. Population is rising and urbanization is taking place at a rapid pace. Thus, in the coming days, people migrating to cities will only go up, with which problem of providing them with basic facilities will also increase. With major cities already seeing their boundaries being stretched far beyond the original limits, time seems to have come to look at the skies of growth. Skyscrapers today are a symbol of growth and pride for the city. Globally, growing economies are looked upon and shown with a mix of their culture and height of their buildings. Indian government always aimed for cities to have a horizontal spread rather than vertical growth. This was because most of the Indian cities were in the interiors, surrounded by villages. Thus, a horizontal spread of the city would mean ease of accessibility to the central city areas from the adjacent rural areas, and thus of faster urbanization of the rural areas. However, for cities like Mumbai, this is not possible. With so many job opportunities in places like Mumbai and Bangalore, people have been flocking to these city centers, but with lower FSIs and higher populations. Developers can't keep up. If we don't accommodate people in more compact footprint closer to the city center, but people want to be in cities, work in cities, you won't spread outwards. So you will spread horizontally. You'll have to construct more roads leading out, which means more emission, which means more people coming in, said Harlaker. Urban planner says increasing FSI would be a good first step to relieve overcrowding and lowering housing prices. But it will also have to be accompanied by investment in mass transportation, roads and other vital infrastructure networks. But if the country builds further into the sky and invests more in its infrastructure, then its urban housing crisis could start to ease and Mumbai could have a brand new skyline. The one biggest consequences is affordability. If you don't add some space where people want to live, then the limited floor space becomes super expensive. The outcome of these notations has a big impact on the country, and it goes far beyond the lack of some impressive skyscrapers. Massive skyscrapers tower over city centers, largely a product of economic growth and the demand for space in the congested areas. Thanks for watching this video till the end.